So today we're going to take a little bit of a break from listing all of the comics and we're going to go back to what started this all video game. So I do have a bunch of loose games here that we're going to go ahead and resurface, but I want to go and start with this one. So this is Need for Speed Most Wanted for the PS2. This game goes for about $30 loose and like $40 complete in box. So let's go ahead and see how much better we can get this thing looking. So before we do any resurfacing with an expensive game like this, I want to go ahead and see if the game works as is, just to know if I actually break it or if it didn't work from the beginning. Typically, I won't sand a game that already works. I'll just go ahead and polish it and buff it to make it look a little bit better. But if a game doesn't work, doesn't boot at all, that's when I'll go ahead and start sanding. But it looks like this game's going to go ahead and boot up, so I'm not going to start with sanding. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get this thing looking good just with a buff and a polish. So we're going to go and start with the toughest pad that I have that isn't sandpaper. I used a lot of compound there just because I haven't used this thing in a very long time and I want to make sure the pad isn't really dried out. After 20 seconds it's looking better, but we're definitely going to have to go more. This is after another 20. It's definitely looking better. We'll do another 20 and then we'll move down to a softer pad. Now, this is a new pad because the ones that I were buying were just getting so worn out. I have pads like everywhere. I bought a bunch from Temu, so we're going to go ahead and give this one a shot. Honestly, so far, I'm really happy with this pad. There is one chip there that I'm just not sure I'm going to be able to get out without sanding. And just 20 seconds with the finishing pad, and oh my god, is this looking good. We'll do one or two more cycles of this. And here is the finished product. I'm really trying to show you guys all the imperfections. Now, you can see that chip that I just couldn't quite get out without sanding it. But if you compare it to how it looked before, it is just night and day difference. It looks so much better. Let's go ahead and pop it in the PS2 and see if it still works. Okay, so let me give you guys a little bit of an update. The game is working perfectly. I can go ahead and even choose erase. Everything is working. The game isn't skipping or anything like that. I mean, it wasn't skipping before, so I didn't think it was going to skip now. But I like to test after, especially when you sand, because there is times where you can go too deep and you can actually destroy the data on the disk. I went online and I found a cover for Need for Speed Most Wanted. Unfortunately, this is the greatest hits version. I could not find the black label one. My goal is to get all of the games and then scan the artwork. So for example, I've scanned Halo 3. So now when I have a loose game, I can go ahead and reprint that artwork. And I just want to be clear, I make it very known that this is a reproduction artwork. I put it on there. I put it in the condition on the eBay listing. I put it in the description of the eBay listing. I also have free returns turned on eBay. So if someone does feel like they got duped or they didn't know, they can always go ahead and send it back to me completely for free.